Hi, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I am Elisa here to do another reading. I'm going to start because I'm honoring Colette Baron Reid. I'm almost finished with my vision board. I've never done one before, but I feel like I'm getting a lot out of the experience, and it's really helping me to clarify my goals and my intentions for the year, which is really awesome and beautiful. So I'm going to start, oops, this just fell out. Okay, I love it, okay. All right, so I got 3 piles. We got Between Worlds. It's like interesting because we go from black and white to in color. And then we got TikTok. And then we got Blessed. So, I mean, kind of what I'm getting from that, I'm going to look at the reading, what it says for TikTok. Is what how I read that is it's like time to move from black and white to in color, where like in color to me is like we're moving towards like being blessed from like a more a darker sort of more introspective era. Yeah, so TikTok kind of speaks to divine timing. So it's like it's time for this change to happen. It is happening, and we're moving into this being blessed. So that's really a beautiful, wonderful change. I'm going to go to the angels and ancestors. And I'm going to do a little split here. I went back to the decks that I was using earlier. I did a switch up, and I'm going back to this because I feel like this is like a real big theme this month. My mom's laughing at me in the background. Okay, we have Air Guardian, shift your perception, and we have the Druid, hold the space. Wow. So I've been doing this, like Tony Robbins is doing this, like it's like a free workshop about like becoming unshakable and like and manifesting your breakthrough for 2023. And yesterday, the whole thing was about changing your story. Like you have to shift your perspective on your story. So like, for example, if you're having a really hard time, like changing your perspective from like, this sucks and everything is working against me and blah, 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 to like, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and like approaching it from a perspective of gratitude and how that changes your trajectory. And that's kind of what's coming through here. It's like you need to like shift your perspective to shift your story. Like it starts in here. And the Druid is all about like holding space, so it's just sort of like before things become reality, you have to shift your perspective, and then you have to hold that space until it becomes reality. And like that's basically how you manifest things. Okay, so when I did the split on the Sacred Forest, we got Thicket of Thorns, uncertainty, and then we got Dragon, power. So like it's so interesting because it's like kind of goes with that message. It's just sort of like your power is in what you focus on, so it's like if you focus on how everything sucks and it's hopeless, and I mean that's what you're going to bring into the world. And it's like, but actually it's like we have this uncertainty, but there's this divine inspiration coming down here, and so it's like these moments of uncertainty are also moments of great opportunity because everything's in flux, and that's when there's really it's like the most opportunity to like make things change because everything's in flux. Like you're not pushing against a wall that's already there, So your power is in how you look at things. And this huge change is coming through. So it's like, whoa, this is really, I'm gonna go and do this light and shadow perspective on the ground and see what we get. This is really, really, really powerful. Okay, let's see what we get here. Yeah, there's a lot. Oops. I was just watching the news in the background, and they're talking about how they're sending tanks to Ukraine, and like it's gonna change the whole trajectory. And I mean, there's a lot that's happening around the world that's kind of shifting like reality on the ground. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we got the Wheel of Fortune, which this has come out in so many readings this month. It's insane. So we got Justice. We got the Crown of Wands, which is like the King of Wands. And we got the Champion of Wands, which is kind of like the Knight of Wands. So it's just sort of like there's a big shift that's like happening, and this is like things are uncertain because everything's like flipping on its head. But it's like there's justice here. Like we're trying to like bring justice into reality because something unjust has happened. And so this is like taking command of your emotions and like making things happen in the world. You know, we're bringing justice into reality, and this is going to maybe require a bold move to make that happen. And like, it's funny because I was just talking about the tanks and everything, and like they're sending in the tanks. They're like making this bold move to sort of change the trajectory on the ground. They're changing the way that they're doing things because they're trying to take control of the situation and bring, you know, sort of the Allies' perception of justice about. I'm going to the Intuitive Night Goddess to get the shadow perspective. But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that's in flux. It's like power is shifting, and it's like time to get in there and like get involved because it's a moment of opportunity. Okay. Oops. Yep. I feel like that came out like yesterday or recently. Okay. Wow. Okay. So the bottom we have the Ace of Swords. So truth and clarity comes in right under the Justice. It's like we see clearly, and it's interesting because I did a reading pretty recently, and it was all about like, and I'll link it up here. It's all about how like you kind of give yourself the space to get clarity about what you need to do, and then it had this anger card, which is like channel your anger to like move forward towards that clarity. Like people are angry about what happened in Ukraine, and so like rather than like being destructive, it's like they want to channel that anger into something like a strategic, you know, objective. And so that's kind of what it's like. It's like almost like this injustice has happened, you know, but nobody's just gonna like hand you justice, you know, like you have to go out there and you have to like claim it. that was what the reading was about. So it's sort of like we have clarity on what that's going to be. And so now we're like laying a foundation, we're building partnerships. And it's like we went from the 3, this is so interesting, to the 4 to the 6. So like we're moving forward towards abundance, you know. It's like this starts with laying a foundation, building partnerships. The 4 is all about sort of like, I mean, it can go both ways. Like you have this foundation in place, and it's like you can either try to hold on to what you have, or you can like open yourself up to the flow, to sort of like keep growing, you know. And it's sort of like up to you when you're at this point. But like this fell out right under the Knight of Wands. So it's like there's a bold move that's going to happen that's going to bring things into balance. This came out right under the Wheel, which is really interesting because this is all about karma, and this is all about like a rebalancing. It's about give and take, and it's about karma, you know. So it's just like we have this truth and clarity. Like we see this path now towards how to claim justice. We like need to hold our vision to bring it into reality. But it's time to make a move. And so it's up to you to sort of claim what you deserve, you know. This is a moment of uncertainty, but it's like it's a test, you know. You have to claim it. So, okay, I'm going to go to the Shaman's Dream, and I'm going to pick a final message for this reading. See what we get. Oh my gosh, so crazy. All right, so we got straddling worlds, wandering between realms. So again, this is double message here. It's like we're clearly going from one era to the next. Like it's almost like in the situation with Ukraine, it's like we haven't been aggressive. Like we've been operating from sort of more of a defensive place, and it's almost like things are changing from like letting other people control the narrative. Well, I think we've controlled the narrative, but like going from a defensive posture to like going to claiming justice, which is a little bit different. Like I think they're both I mean, it's similar, but one is more of like aggressive, but both justified, you know. So I think that's like an analogy that you could use. You know, obviously, like people in Russia might not agree that that's what justice looks like, but it's just an analogy of what's appearing in the cards. And then we have a beloved, radical acceptance. So it's just sort of like I'm gonna actually read what it says in the book for radical acceptance, because I think you have to accept things as they are and operate from that place in order to generate blessings and abundance. But it says the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. So it's just sort of like accepting things the way they are. But also I think knowing that this situation might be unjust, it is what it is, but if you want things to change for yourself, you have to shift your perspective, and you have to claim claim that for yourself. So like maybe take a more assertive position is kind of what this looks like. So it's like someone's getting ready to get in the ring, and like it's like it hasn't happened yet. Like I think it's still in the thought realm, but like it's on the table. So we'll see where this goes.